This is solving multi-step equations. Now, we have a few more steps added on to from when we did the solving two-step equations. All we're doing is adding on to basically what our steps need to be. The first one is we're going to use that distributive property that we previously learned about to remove all the parentheses that we have in the equation. Then we're going to clear out all of our fractions. Now you don't have to. Some people don't like fractions and need to clear them out. Myself, they get a little tricky, so we can clear our fractions out if we need to. The third step is combine all the like terms on each side of the equal sign. Now, all the like terms on the right side will be combined, then all the ones on the left side, but they're not moving across the equal sign quite yet. Then you're going to undo your addition and or subtraction, and then undo your multiplying or your and your dividing. So let's put some of these steps to use. Here's our first example. We have 6 times the quantity of y minus 1 plus 8 equals 32. Now remember, draw your line down so you remember, okay, what I do to one side of the equal sign, I must do to the other side. First thing we need to do is take the 6 and distribute it to inside the parentheses. 6 times y is 6y, and 6 times 1 is 6. And remember, since this is subtraction, we bring that down for right there. We still have our plus 8, and it's going to still equal to 32. Now the next step I need to do, since I don't have any fractions, I need to combine my like terms on each side of the equal sign. Now over here I just have one term, so that's going to stay. Over here I have 3 terms. 2 of them are like terms, this negative 6 and this 8. You can combine them together to get a positive 2. Okay, so now we have 6y plus 2 equals 32. So now I'm on to a two-step equation that we just learned about. So I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides. I get 6y plus 0 because 2 minus 2 is 0 equals 30. If I simplify that down, I get 6y equals 30. Now divide each side by 6, and you know 6y divided by 6 is just y, so I can just write it as y. And 30 divided by 6 is 5. Now, I know I have the answer as y equals 5, but you still need to check your answer. Plug it all in, and then do order of operations. So 5 minus 1 is 4, 6 times 4 is 24, and 24 plus 8 does equal 32. So my answer is correct. Alright, some practice problems. Alright, this first one kind of looks like what we just did. We need to distribute the 3 to the 2y and the 4 inside. So you'll get 6y minus 12 plus 4y equals 8, because we still have this 4y in the end. Now we need to combine terms, because I don't have any fractions. This time 6y and 4y are like terms. So I add those two together to get 10y. I still have the minus 12, so I need to make sure I write that equals 8. 8 is just one term, so I have nothing else on this side of the equation to combine it with. So I need to solve it. Notice I have basically a two-step equation right here. So I'm going to add 12 to both sides. 8 plus 12 is 20, and negative 12 plus 12 is 0, so I'm left with 10y. I'm going to divide each side by 10. And 20 divided by 10 is 2, and 10y divided by 10 is just a 1y, or just y. Now remember, plug your problem back in. So 2 times 2 is 4, 4 minus 4 is 0. Then I do 0 times 3 is 0, so that all goes away. And then 4 times 2 is 8, and that does equal 8. So my answer is correct. Now the second one, I have fractions. Easiest way to get rid of a fraction, or kind of simplify it, is to multiply it by the common denominator. Now all of these have a like common denominator of 7. So it's really easy to do. All I need to do is multiply the left side of the equation by 7, everything, and the right side of the equation by 7. That gets rid of all of this to where I just have my numerators of a minus 5 equals 6. Because 7 times a over 7 is just a, and 7 times 5 over 7 is just 5, and 7 times 6 over 7 is 6. So now I'm down to a one-step equation where I add 5 to both sides to get a to equal 11. Now in this number 3, remember when it has the opposite of parentheses, x plus 5 equals negative 14, what it's saying is like there's a negative 1 here. So you need to do negative 1 times x, and that's negative 1x. Negative 1 times a positive 5, and that's a minus 5. Or plus a negative 5, same thing. Okay, so we're going to add 5 to both sides since this is a minus 5. I get negative 14 plus 5 is negative 9. And I still have my negative 1x over here. So now I need to divide each side by negative 1. And notice negative 9 divided by negative 1 is just 9. And that's my answer. Okay, this last one we got some decimals instead of fractions, but those are pretty easy to work with. All we need to do first is there's no distributed property that we need to use, so I'm going to do 0.5t minus 3t. I'm going to combine those two. When I do, I get negative 2.5t. I still have my plus 5. Girls! Alright, so now I do plus 5. To move that, I just need to subtract 5. Now it equals 0 on the other side. So when I do 0 minus 5, I'm going to get negative 5. So I'm going to get negative 2.5t equals negative 5. Now all I have to do is divide each side by negative 2.5. When you do negative 5 divided by negative 2.5, you're going to get a positive 2 for your answer. And you're all done. Now this last one I'm going to have some fractions in here. I've got 2/3 plus 3k over 4 equals 71 over 12. Now I can get rid of those fractions to make it a little bit easier in whole numbers so it's not so hard by multiplying by 12. This is the lowest common denominator. Like when you added and subtracted fractions and stuff like that way back when 6th grade, probably elementary school, when you found like denominators, that's exactly what we're doing here. So I'm going to multiply this side by 12 and this side by 12. Now this one's easy. 71 over 12 times 12 is just 71. But in here, since they are not like denominators anyway, I need to do 12 times 2, which is 24, divided by 3, and that's 8. So that's how it simplifies down. 12 times 3 is 36, divided by 4, and that's 9. And remember, this is k too, so it's 9k. That's how I simplified that. Now, I need to move this 8, and I move that by subtracting 8 from both sides. So I do 8 minus 8, and that's 0. I still have my 9k. 71 minus 8 is 36, so I have 36 equals 9k. And then to solve that, I divide each side by 9. And when you do 36 divided by 9, you get 7 for your answer. Alright, let's do a few more practice problems. Alright, this first one, I have 1/2 times x minus 12 equals 4. Now, what I can do is go ahead and multiply each side by a like denominator. Or I can go ahead and first distribute and use the fraction. What I'm going to do first is, since I have a fraction here, I want to get rid of my fraction. So this is my problem, and I need to multiply it by its denominator. So I'm going to multiply this side of the equation by 2 and this side of the equation by 2. That gives me 2 times 1/2 is just 1. So I'm left with really what's under here in the parentheses, which is x minus 12 equals, and 4 times 2 is 8. Excuse my dogs, they're going through their crazy time about this time at night. Alright, now I have x minus 12, excuse me, equals 8. And I'm going to add 12 to both sides. Excuse me. Bonnie, Grace, get quiet. No. Sit. Stay. I'm very sorry. Obviously, I'm not a good parent. Alright, x minus 12 plus 12, remember that's going to be just x. And then 8 plus 12 is 20. Now, if I go back in and check my answer like you should be, I'm going to do 1/2. Let's put check so we know what we're talking about. 1/2 times 20 minus 12. Let's see if that equals 4. Okay, 20 minus 12, that's going to be 8. 8 times a half, is that 4? And yes, it is 4, so my answer is correct, and I'm good to go. This next one, I've got 2/3 plus y equals 3/4. Now, they don't have like denominators, so I kind of need to figure out what is the smallest number that both 3 and 4 go into, and that, of course, is 12. So, I'm going to multiply this side of the equation by 12, and this side of the equation by 12. Remember, once I have my wall, I will need to make sure I'm doing stuff to both sides. Now, 12 times 2/3. 12 times 2 is 24. 24 divided by 3 is 8. And 12, don't forget, times y is actually just 12y. Now, over here, 12 times 3/4. 12 times 3 is 3 times 2 is 36. 36 divided by 4 is 9. Alright, now what I need to do is subtract 8 from both sides. I'm going to get 9 minus 8, which is 1, and 8 minus 8 is 0, so I'm left with 12y. Then I need to divide each side by 12. And what you'll get is y to actually equal a fraction, 1/12. And there's your answer. So if you do 2/3 plus 1/12, you will get 3/4. Alright, this next one, 8y minus the quantity of 2y minus 3 is going to equal 9. So first we need to do is the distributive property. So I'm going to do 8y, I'm going to do minus 2y, and this is -1 times the -3. Since these both are negative, it becomes a plus 3. Equals 9. Alright, now combine like terms. On this side I have 8y and 2y. That side I just have one term, so everything's good over here. 8y minus 2y is 6y. Now we need to subtract 3 from both sides to get 6y to equal 6, and divide each side by 6. And we all know that 6 divided by 6 is 1. So I'm going to write it over here so you guys can see y equals 1. Okay? All you need to do is plug it back in, and notice it will equal 9, and your answer is correct. Okay, the next one, more distributive property. Don't need to do it. Don't even need to get rid of fractions. All we need to do is move on to combining like terms. So I've got x and 3x over here that need to be put together. Notice 29 all by itself, one term, don't need to do anything to it. Alright, 3x or x plus 3x is going to give me a 4x. Still have the minus 7. Alright, now we need to add 7 to both sides. So I'm left over here with 4x. And 29 plus 7 is 36. Now I need to divide by 4 on both sides, and x is going to equal 9. Okay? Alright, now where we come in with multi-step equations, we're going to use it using a word problem. I know you all love them. Alright, this time we have the McNallys rented a moving truck for $49.95 plus 30 cents per mile before returning the truck. They filled the tank with gas, which cost $18.32. The total cost was $95.87. We need to find the number of miles the truck was actually driven. Okay, X is going to be the number of miles driven. Okay, so if we already have to pay $49.95, okay, that's the base price. No matter what, we have to pay. Plus, we're doing 30 cents per mile. X is miles. I'm going to do 0.3x. And remember, we also paid $18.32 for gas. So $18.32. And our total was $95.87. Okay, so what we need to do first, let me get the answer. Okay, didn't have my calculator, but I have it worked out here. Alright, first thing we need to do is combine like terms. This side, one term. We're good over there. This side, we have 3 terms. 2 of them can be combined together. That is the ones without the x's. The $49.95 and the $18.32. So when you add those 2 together, you're going to get, you still have the 0.3x plus, you're going to have $68.27. All of that's going to equal the $95.87. Okay, now we have a 2-step equation, which is fairly easy. Okay, you're going to subtract $68.27 from both sides. Remember, when you do to one, you gotta do to the other. You're left with 0.3x. That's going to equal $27.60. Then you're going to divide each side by 0.3 to find out how many miles you're going to get. And your x is actually going to equal 92 miles. You're doing a lot of driving there. So, you know that this truck, they paid $18.32 in gas, plus your base price of $49.95. That together, along with 92 miles of driving at 30 cents per mile, they spent a total of $95.87.